So today we're going to be learning about thermal energy. All right, before we get started on this, has anybody ever touched something that was hot and burned their hand?
Yes, sir.
Ever?
Yes, sir.
That can happen all the time. The other day I was grabbing something out of the oven, got me in the top of my hand, I still got it right here, burned. Anyways, so we're going to be going over thermal energy and the way it's transferred today. So there's three types of thermal energy and how they're transferred. Today we're going to learn these three things right here. We're going to be able to identify the three types of thermal energy transfer. We're going to be able to understand how each thermal energy transfer works, and we're going to be able to recognize examples of each of them. All right. So right here, what is thermal energy? So there's a picture right there for you to kind of look at. So those are the three that we're going to be going over. So what is thermal energy? Thermal energy is the total kinetic energy of particles in a substance. It's transferred from warmer objects to cooler ones, all right? So you can see in this picture right here the three types of thermal energy and ways that they can be transferred right there, and we're going to get more into depth on that. So starting right here with radiation. So does anybody know why I got that big red or big orange circle right there? What does it represent? What does it represent?
Like a radiation.
Okay, that's a good idea, but different.
The sun.
The sun, exactly. So down here, the transfer of thermal energy through electromagnetic waves is radiation. So that's heat from the sun, heat from the fire. Y'all ever walk outside? Well, we're in Livingston, Alabama, so I hope y'all do. Y'all ever walk outside and feel heat coming down from the sun? Get real hot? Good, that's radiation, thermal energy right there. So next, we're going to get into conduction, all right? Conduction is the transfer of thermal energy through direct contact, all right? So you burn your hand like that. This occurs mainly in solids, all right? Conduction energy, it needs to be actual contact right there, actually touching so the particles can move from solid to solid, the heat can. Convection is the third and the final of thermal energy. This is the transfer of thermal energy through fluids, through gases. So this will happen with warmer fluids rising and cooler fluids sinking, which creates kind of like a current. So let's say you're out in a cabin, all right, in Alaska. It's cold outside, but you got a fire or you got something warming up the room. If you got a loft up in that cabin, it would be better to sleep up on that loft because that heat's going to be rising in that cabin. So it's going to be hot, it's going to be hotter and warmer up there at the top of that cabinet, near the ceiling, than it is going to be down on the floor. All right. So comparison, conduction needs contact and involves solids. All right. So that's different than the other ones because convection is more of a movement particles and it involves fluids, gases. All right. Radiation is electromagnetic waves and it needs no medium. Does anybody know what needs no medium means? It's on the board. Kellen, do you know what, if it says that it needs no medium, what that means? It can happen in a vacuum. So that means it can happen out in space. That's how radiation gets to us from the sun, which is out in space. So, real life examples. Real life examples of radiation is heat from the sun. We went over that one. What's another one? Does anybody know another one? Another type of radiation that's a real life example?
Microwave. Like burning your hand.
Yeah, microwave is actually working from radiation. It's a good one.
Cell phone radiation.
Probably so, but I'm thinking more of a fire. The heat from a fire, you make a fire, the heat coming from it. What's up?
Like if you like burning your hand on like a pan.
That would be conduction, so because you're physically touching it. All right, so if you touch something that's hot, that's actually conduction right there. So conduction, an example of that would be cooking on a stovetop because it's direct contact from whatever you're putting on that stove right there, touching the hot stovetop. Convection, a good example, real life example of it, will be heating a room with a radiator, getting that current moving. All right. So, a quiz. What type of heat transfer do you feel from a fire? We just went over this, guys. Radiation. All right. How does a metal spoon on a hot drink become warm? If you touch it to a hot drink. Huh? Conduction, exactly, 100%. Conduction is the physical contact. So, alright, what type of energy transfer involves particles of fluids moving? Convection, 100%. Alright, so now you're going to search up these three types of energy. Alright, these two types of energy transfer. What's up there, son? You missed the presentation, but we got a lot more to do, so good. You made it for it. So, we're about to research on Google Scholar articles on one of these three right here. You're going to pick an article yourself on your computer. You're going to pick an article that you find through Google Scholar on one of these three types of thermal energy transfer. And then, I'll tell you more directions in a minute. Alright, so right